Welcome to another episode.
Do I have to clap?
Oh, yeah, we have to clap. 5, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. For those of you that are playing at home, that's how we sync up our mics. Welcome to another episode of the Overserved podcast. I'm one of your two hosts, AngryCops, AC, Rich High, and this beautiful man next to me is Joe, Average Joe, G.I. Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And we're here to talk about some shenanigans that are happening not only in the Buffalo school system, but also in Virginia with redistricting, something that I think both of us don't really quite understand fully, but are going to talk about anyway because I'm confused. And also, I don't know, maybe, what are some more hot button topics? Illegal immigration, the Kevin Hart roast.
The roasting of Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And they also gave Chelsea Handler a good roasting. Shane Gillis got at her pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Very personal.
I
don't even know if it was comedy or just the excuse of comedy for the...
It's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And I got through, I think, 45 minutes of it. I haven't finished watching it yet.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get my own opinion on it. And just from watching some of the clips, I was like, dude, you guys are saying some of the most disturbing to one another.
Heinous.
This isn't new either. Like, this is before Tom Brady. This is like even before, like when they started doing these massive roasts on Comedy Central and bringing them back again. I always looked at them and was like, oh, you guys are being fucking brutal in like a way. Like, I don't.
Like airing out dirty laundry personal way. Like, I know you're behind the scenes and I'm saying some stuff that maybe.
Like this.
It's been getting that way for years. They started it with Bob Saget.
Bob Saget was one. Bob Saget's a fucking animal, though. I don't know if people know this or not. Bob Saget is one of the most dirty comics ever. He is, dude, he says, well, he used to. He's passed away. But he was all sorts of just like disturbing. Yeah. But he was the guy that was on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Danny Tanner, man.
Danny Tanner. So everybody was just like, what a wholesome guy. No, his stand-up is raunchy.
There was a lot of those guys that were that way. Pee Wee Herman was pretty raunchy, too.
Pee Wee Herman was very raunchy. But back in the day, for like the roasts, like I watched the old ones with like Rodney Dangerfield in it, and who's Mr. Nice Guy?
I don't know.
The Rob Riggle? No, Rob. Mr. Sunshine. He's a short, bald Jewish guy that would roast everybody. Don Rickles. Don Rickles. You know who Don Rickles is?
I understand. Not really. But
if you've seen any sort of like old school roast, Don Rickles is the old, short, bald Jewish guy that it like rips on everybody. He'll go look at like a black guy and be like, he'll say a joke and then he'll look at the black guy and he'll be like, for you, ooga booga. And you're like, whoa, know, or he'll pull out like a Jesse Jackson. And I say, when I go into the land of the mercy, you know what I'm saying. And then he'll look at the white people like, I don't know.
Well, it's coming back.
Yeah.
But they're like, it's almost too far, too personal, right?
It's too far, too personal.
Instead of making like a general cultural joke and it's kind of funny because everybody gets it. Yeah. It's very personal. It's like, hey, you've had so many abortions. You've been scraped more than whatever they said to Chelsea Handler. And like, holy shit.
You're like, ugh.
It was a little, it was a much. I'm for roasting bad people, and maybe they're outing each other for whatever reason. Could be getting a little cutthroat. I have no idea.
So they're all friends. Like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to you, though.
So the thing is, though, it's like it's the entertainment world, and they've all sold their souls already. Chelsea Handler, her fetus's souls, so she's up on a lot of people.
I was going to say.
But they're all friends with one another, and you know that they already know the jokes that are coming because of the retorts that they have, right? Like one of the jokes that Shingilla says is like he calls Chelsea Handler a Zionist, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then she responds with like 2 or 3 good lines herself, which are absolutely scripted. So in moments like that, I know as a guy that did live shows, live comedy before, it's scripted. They've already written their jokes. They've written some of their responses. They've picked their best.
Though. I mean, I'm watching and I'm kind of like, ooh.
Dude, some of the Shanes didn't really land. They were okay. They were okay.
No, they were just delivery. They were almost too personal to enjoy. That's where if you make a generalized joke, I think everybody gets to be in on it. You know, you make a stereotype joke. You know, round her up with the rest of them. Don't single her out for just the amount of abortions she's had.
Although,
throw it in there.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have, but it don't change. So, but she owns that. Yeah, that's like she's, you know, she says it in like because I think I've just passed her her portion of the roast. Yeah, where she talks about, you know, just the amount of like dudes that have run through her and calls herself a whore and whatever. So she's like in on the joke. She knows it. It doesn't like make her who she is. It's a part of who she is. Like, yeah, I sleep with some dudes because I'm fucking hot and I'm an older woman and I'm single and I make a lot of money. Yeah, I can do that.
I wonder how many dude abortions she would have had if she was a dude. How does that work?
What's a dude abortion?
I don't know. I'm just bringing it up.
Is that like a massive poop?
It could be a massive poop full of...
Also known as a Chelsea? No.
Navy men?
I will say this. One of Shane's great... Like, he's really good at fun, dumb humor sometimes.
Yeah.
He makes really good inferences and is intelligent, but some of the things that he does that, like, catches you off guard are, like, dumb things that he says. He goes... and we've got Chelsea Handler here, middle name Penis. Penis Handler, right? And you're
See?
like,
everybody can enjoy that one.
Right? It's not that bad, but it kind of calls her a whore. But yeah. And I thought that was funny. And I'm like, it doesn't need to be PG, but when I look back at the old days with Don Rickles and, and the Frank Sinatras and, all these other people, the old time roasts, like, it was fun. It was a little raunchy, a little risque, but it was like PG-13 at most.
Yeah.
Like, they let innuendo do the joke for them, right?
Yes.
They would suggest things.
Here's A, here's C, B's funny. It's right in the middle. You figured it out.
And now it's like, I'm just watching all these stand-up comedians who I thought were funny and are funny, just like, and I'm like, this isn't... This is where we're at. Like, you guys are the top comedians right now. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
This, like, come on. When I would write some of the sketches when I first started doing content, and then also during my live stuff too, because I had to do family friendly stuff.
One of your most family friendly jokes that you've ever made or said at that one live, pasta your bedtime.
It's a pasta your bedtime?
It's pasta your bedtime. Somebody had told you that you had to use pasta in a sentence. You use that.
Yeah.
We brought that home to the kids. They still use it today.
It's a pasta your bedtime.
And that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Moments like that.
Yeah.
But when I was doing when I was doing live comedy and when I was writing my sketches, I had limitations. Like, you can't swear, you can't be too vulgar. It has to be something that, like, enough people would want to watch. And so there are limitations in comedy, right?
Yeah.
But what I like about limitations is it forces you to be more creative. If you've only got this amount of space to work in, then you try to figure out every little corner, every nook and cranny within that space, and you better understand the space and you become more talented, let's just say talented.
You solve more problems to get to the joke, so it's funnier.
Yeah.
It's got more depth.
It's got more depth. You have to work hard at it.
Are we dumbing down society with simple, easy, well-delivered jokes that you don't have to think about?
I'm not saying that you can't laugh at slapstick or a fart in the middle of a movie theater.
No, but those are funny because they're generalized.
They're funny. But when I'm watching the roast of Kevin Hart and everybody's just like, fat, black, Jew, dumb. I'm
Stairs, fatty.
I'm like, you're top paid. You're the funniest people in the world. I've seen your stand up. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I can tell you the internet wrecked that. Once you started getting into people's lives and putting this camera into other people's homes, there's a lot of funny people out there.
It's true.
Can they do it for a living? I don't think so. The amount of time, the commitment, the traveling, that whole thing. Because it's not just, I'm up here speaking for 15 minutes. How'd you get there? Oh, I took a 5-hour flight, 2 connecting flights, stayed in a hotel last night, and I have no friends here with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that part of it, like really putting in the hours to be funny.
The grind.
Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, the grind. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just kind of looking at the amount of effort that goes into these, and you're saying this was scripted.
Oh, 100%.
So, somebody said, this is funny, do this. At what point does the actor go, yeah, I'm not really for this. This isn't funny. How do we stand up on our own? Or do we lose sponsorships and things like that for that?
So there's two things when it comes to live roasts like this, right? Especially, I'm talking specifically about these recent ones, the Donald Trump ones or whatever.
Yeah.
You have athletes and you've got social media or media figures like Donald Trump, or Tom Brady. They don't write their jokes. Somebody else writes their jokes and then they read them, right? Because if you or I or any other person that's not a stand-up comedian went to go toe-to-toe with stand-up comedians on a roast battle, your jokes would more than likely land flat.
Yeah.
Like, they just wouldn't hit. It would be awkward. It would be like, oh, yeah, well, what about? It would be strange. It'd be cringy.
Yep.
So but even then, even with these written jokes that they have to memorize that they read off the teleprompter, which is there, they read off a teleprompter, including the comics, but the comics write their own jokes. It's still like stale when you like see Tom Brady say it. And I'll tell you another thing that makes it stale and is when they use crutch words like when I'm watching a roast and you're just like, man, really? Like, you guy? When I hear that all the time, that's like when I deal with a dumb moron on the east side of Buffalo that uses the N-word as a crutch word all the time. Just like drops the N-bomb every.
I stopped listening 2 seconds ago.
Like, you're too dumb.
Like, if you want to drop one and it's the statement maker, like,
yeah.
Or did you hit your mic a lot?
I did. Drink.
Oh, thank God.
Hit my mic. Drink.
Dude, the comments were
a little dry.
Yeah, they were a little dry this last episode here.
Yeah, we'll finagle it. But
Stop touching your.
Well, I moved it intentionally. That wasn't a bump. But you get what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely.
When you start hitting the crutch words of you don't sound like a smart person.
No.
So the same thing happens when you're dropping an N-bomb every 5 seconds when you're on the east side. I'm trying to talk to you. Hey, do you know why I pulled you over? N-word. No, man. No. And you're like dropping N-bombs like, oh, you're dumb. And same thing when I hear you say over and over again, or any other curse word that is any crutch word. And so I'm watching these comedians that are using the F-bomb as a crutch word. I'm saying F-bomb just to be like a little more family friendly for YouTube. But when they're, it's like, oh,
you talk about family friendly. There was an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. There was a swear word on a dumpster. And SpongeBob is explaining, I think it
was a dolphin squeal. It was like a, and like that was the curse word.
Okay.
And everybody was like, oh.
Huh? Crabs is a motherfucker.
But he explained that it was a spicy sentence sandwich. So it's an additive. Just a little bit. Just one. You don't have to put the whole sandwich full of fuck.
Yeah.
Just one little fuck and make the sentence a little more strong if you're trying to get a point across. Especially if you're speaking in a, I don't even want to call it a dialect. I guess I would call it a dialect. It's the way they speak sometimes. F this, F that, N this, all that. Well, that's your normal language. So when I say F, well, you speak all F. I'm just speaking your language. I'm not really making a point. But as a suburban cop, if I'm in a different area with a different clientele and I drop an F-bomb, people are like, whoa.
That guy's upset.
What he said?
I'm professional.
Oh, my God.
Man. We better listen. He needs business.
Yeah, he said F.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely takes away, and it definitely not deletes.
It just takes me out of it.
Yeah.
It just takes me out of it. I'm like, oh, you're grasping for laughs now, so you're trying to shock us with a curse word.
Are you going to shock somebody with a curse word when you just said that chick had 95 abortions and was scraped more than whatever?
Right.
Like, I'm not shocked. That was pretty rough. Like,
Chelsea had a great joke, too. When she made fun of Shane, she's like, I thought I was going to have the best in the night, and I got Shane Gillis up here in front of me.
Oh, that's fantastic. See, that's a good roast.
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke.
Right? Because you're kind of, it's a good joke.
That is a good joke.
But, yeah, I'm at Lizzo now. So
oh, yeah. They
it's
made
like,
fun of her in Steps.
I bet you they do.
They did.
So, yeah, I'm at the Lizzo part. So I think I've got like 2 hours left, a little bit over 2 hours left. But I was just like watching it, just like hoping for better stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like any live performance, especially with stand-up comedy. There's going to be people that you miss. I saw that.
That's bad. That's great. Thanks to our editor for sending this to me. Hold on a second.
Yep. For those of you that just chimed in, Joe showed me his phone like an 80-year-old man and then expected everybody to get it. And now we have to explain it because this is a podcast. So, speaking of roasts, Joe, the internet roasted you the other day, didn't it?
Yeah, it was Looksmaxing. Why?
Tell me how.
Well,
it got you.
I don't know if anybody, since this is an audio show, people might not understand the distance between my chin and chest. I have a disability.
I have a disability. A chinability.
A chinability.
I have a chinability to have a neck.
It was a young accident playing soccer when I was in Italy. I lost a vertebrae. Now it's shorter.
Now it's not so vertebrae.
Yeah, it's not vertebrae at all, dude. Yeah. So, allegedly, I don't have a neck. Can you see a neck?
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying not to stare.
Don't stare too much.
Yeah,
too long, yeah.
I don't want to be rude. If you're
yeah, the internet's fascinated with my head fighting my shoulders and my neck losing the battle type of deal.
It's. I tell you what, it is. It's a girthy ground.
It's a girthy ground to be on, dude. That's how I passed tape every time in the military.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, is that 32 inches? No, that's my neck. It's not my waistline, buddy. Either way. So the internet likes to roast me on my neck, and I think it's fantastic that they noticed such a small detail.
I mean, I know the details kind of staring them right in the face.
Then we talked about looksmaxing, lengthening our legs, and I was like, maybe I'll add some vertebrae. There was one comment out there, and the guy was, I'm pretty sure it was a dude, and it sounded really serious. He's like, hey, don't do that. Don't alter your body for other people's perception. Just be happy with who you are. And I'm like,
That's very kind.
I've never heard of maxing my neck like legitimately by adding a vertebrae or a spacer, like a hockey puck on a lift truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the internet went ahead and modified some photos.
They gave you some African rings.
Dude, that's what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take those things out, though?
So I remember reading about this. So what happens is when the African girls put the rings around their neck to elongate their neck, which is
status.
It's like a custom. It's like a local. What do you call that? Like a thing that just a small local
like a rite of
populace
passage
does,
or something.
No. It's like if custom, I guess, is the proper term. But anyway, it's a thing that this small group of this African tribe does, and everybody's seen it. The girls with the rings on their neck, and what it does is it pushes your shoulder blades down, like your clavicles down.
Oh.
So it's not like it doesn't actually elongate your neck. It just kind of pushes your shoulders down so they go at like a slant. And no, you can take the rings off, and they do regularly, and it looks like they have a long neck. The rings are there to like elongate the neck, and push the shoulder blades down so then you do have like a longer neck, even though you've got like less of a sternum, I guess. But yeah, they can take them off and still look around.
Okay. I was just asking for a friend. That's all. Just curious.
Well, lucky for you, I was very interested in it when I was like 17 and read like numerous articles about it.
National Geographic? You were just looking for the book.
Look
at that. It's not. This is a documentary. Look at me go.
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
So,
oh boy.
When I was younger, for grade school, I got sent to private school. Parents saved up a bunch of money, sacrificed a lot so that I could get a good education. And so until like 4th or 5th grade, till 4th grade, I went to St. Paul's in North Tonawanda, which I think is the school's closed now, but the church is still open. And
God's always there.
God's always there. And
he's been watching.
He's right here. Never leaves us. He's right there on your shirt, too. Oh, you hit your mic. Drink.
That's a setup.
So I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and I remember my teacher coming up to me because we had a library in the school, and me and the guys had found the African Studies book, which had a bunch of African women tribal women that did not wear anything above their belly button.
Yep.
So you got some different kinds of titties all in that book. And we were 4th grade boys. So we were like,
Christ.
This is, oh man, I hope not all of them look like this, but this is still great.
That's crazy.
There were some ugly titties in there, but there was also still titties.
Well, they're natural. So,
some of them were beaten down. Some of them were, well,
when you're feeding a whole tribe, okay?
We're talking about mud hut titties here. These are not prime titties. These are used titties, used and abused.
Utility titties.
These are utilititties.
Utilititties.
Utilititties, yes.
Yeah, utilititties.
So, like an old DeWalt drill, like that's been used, little dirty, all right? Not as clean and shiny out the box as some American boobies that aren't having, the sub-African
not
heat.
lithium ion, 18 volt.
Not in a blood diamond mine, kind of boobies is what we're used to. So these are blood diamond boobies. And we looked at it, we thought it was funny, we giggled, and we put the book away. And then, I don't know who, but the librarian or somebody caught us and snitched on us.
Why?
To my teacher.
It's in the library at the school. It's material on a shelf for you.
Yeah, but I'm looking at boobies, so there's...
No, you're not. You're
in
researching.
School. So
maybe you want to be Indiana Jones.
Whatever. Yeah. Indiana Jones didn't like snakes.
You like snakes? Is that a Freudian thing?
It was a gay joke.
Definitely.
It was me being like I'm gay.
Yeah.
You
don't have to pretend.
Because snake, trouser snake.
Yeah.
Wiener.
Yep.
So I had to spell this out for you. Come on, Shane.
Ah.
So my teacher, Miss Lemieux, wonderful teacher, great teacher, was just like, hey, what's up with the boobies? Right. I don't remember how the conversation went.
4th grader?
But it was it was an intense conversation. Yeah. We don't look at books like that.
Oh, she was grooming you.
No.
Oh, she was just getting used to the idea of titties. Do you want to see? Come here. You're real curious about that.
She was showing me them. She was upset that I did it. She's like, you can't objectify women like that. That's bad.
And I was don't put them in a book.
I was like, she's like, who else saw it? And I was a G. I didn't say shit.
Yeah.
I was like, who else did you catch?
Down.
I was like, who else did you catch? She's like, so and so. I was like, I don't remember that, but
answering questions I was there. With questions, even at a young age.
I don't know. I looked at the book. We found it. I giggled. closed it, and I put it back. I don't know, okay. Well, she was like very serious about it. I was like, man, are you making me really feel like because I looked in a book and accidentally laughed at it because, they're fucking pancake hanging down to this woman's like calves. And I was like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I got in trouble in Christian grade school because I found an African studies book and just was perusing it with a couple buddies of mine. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
That's a core memory.
This tribe in East Jahunga has got girls that don't wear tops.
Jahunga, yeah. Mr. Rickles, just going to say stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think that Jahunga is racist. If I said Rhodesia, maybe it'd be racist. They call it Zimbabwe now. Do they? Dude, oh my God. We're about to make some people uncomfortable. I watched a video on the YouTubes the other day of a guy from South Africa. And he's like, I left South Africa in 2007, 2006. White guy. He's an Afrikaner. And he's like, yeah, third, fourth, fifth generation, Afrikaner down there. This is my home, my country. And he's like, apartheid was bad. He lays it all out. He's like, yeah, apartheid was bad. He goes, but there are things that are bad now and why I left. And one of the things that he breaks down, he's like, Nelson Mandela, his Communist Party, I forget what it's called, it's like the AC or something like that. It's like the African People's Party or something like that. I know, I'm not doing a great job in saying the exact name of the outfit. But basically the major political party that's communist, pro-communist in South Africa, post Nelson Mandela dying, that I believe Nelson Mandela was a part of, like took over, and now it's just like, get out whites. Like, that's it. Dude. And he's like showing, he goes, so this is his video, right? He goes, I'm going to show you parts of South Africa that I grew up in from when I grew up and what they look like now.
Yeah, before and after type.
So he's like, he goes, once again, apartheid bad. He goes, but colonialism, maybe not so bad, considering that, we built up South Africa to be the most wealthy country in all of Africa. And now it's kind of going on the downswing. So what he does is he goes through all these like streets in South Africa, and I forget which city, but he goes, yeah, I used to drive the street. Like, here it is in, 2014. Business is open. Everybody's happy. Beep, boop, beep. He goes, here it is in 2022. Just like poo in the streets looking like Iraq. Ugh. And like buildings like torn down. Every other building is like security training because people are dying. So obviously the more crime there is, the more security companies pop up because people don't want to get shot or robbed. Yeah. And it's like, he just goes like, and it's not like, oh, one or two streets, and then he gives me political propaganda about, why, good white, bad black. No, he's just like,
it's not a color thing.
It's not a color thing.
Never has been.
He goes just to dozens of streets he goes down. And over the course of like 10, 15 years, like they're stealing street tiles or sidewalk tiles.
You remember our open border situation under Biden?
Oh, yeah.
Let everybody in, no questions asked. Busting them in. They got wristbands. They're getting paid. They found out that everything's coordinated. They're getting rides. They're not walking 2,000 miles in flip-flops.
Yeah, remember when he was dropping them off in like Martha's Vineyard, and then everybody got upset?
Well, the Republicans kind of did that to prove a point. They're like, oh,
which I thought was hysterical.
Texas can handle that. Sure, they got a lot of land. Let them in.
Texas is way down there. They got all the room that they want. Sweet.
We took in some South African refugees that were leaving.
Who's we?
The United States.
Oh, okay.
The United States started taking a few in. They were on the news, just a little glimmer here and there. And Congress was like, we can't take these people in. We don't like what they stand for. He's like,
oh, the Afrikaners, the white ones, yeah,
the families with the farms that were getting burned down. They were lynching white people over there.
Yeah, it
was on the news for a hot minute, but not long enough to make a difference. But my stance on this is, how does one side say that racism against a certain group of people is okay, but not it's okay against somebody else like us? And I'm like, well, maybe it should just be bad across the board. But the Southern Poverty Learing Center. Mm-hmm. Probably should have got in there and made a difference, but they didn't. They were busy doing other stuff here. So I'm watching this, and I'm hearing your story, and I'm like, oh, okay. So rules and boundaries that guide civilizations or cultures probably work just a little bit. So maybe just a little bit of racism isn't bad as it should be. Work should go over DEI type stuff, like performance over appearance. Works for me.
Well, and there's another thing of culture is that cultures are different.
No way.
Sometimes you don't allow other cultures. And I don't know if you've seen this, but Elon Musk opened up like some translation thing, and Japanese and American Twitter like linked up and were like bros for a week. Do you remember this? It was like a week or two ago.
That sounds awesome.
Oh my God, dude! The Japanese were like, "We hate immigrants." It was, dude. You're like, whoa! They were like all about like cowboy Western culture. They're like, why don't you, dude? They're like outlawing Islam in Japan.
Yeah,
because they're pissed off that
they refuse to assimilate. And I'm not asking you for full assimilation.
Yeah,
just not forced assimilation. You're not assimilating me. If you want to come to the United States and do the melting pot thing, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
right? Like, hey, you're all
you gotta
here.
melt though.
You gotta melt a little bit.
Melt, my guy.
Give me a little, right?
Yeah.
Give me a little. Meet me in the middle somewhere.
Have your halal market. I love the garlic sauce. That's okay. You know,
I'm a fan.
Don't look at my wife like you're disgusted because she doesn't wear a burqa. Had that happen a while ago.
Really?
Oh, I was irritated. Oh, Iraq tour 1, Richard High, blood started to boil when I was like, I saw a fucking woman give a side eye to my wife because she was in a burqa and my wife's hot. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's nice that you can walk out to the grocery store because your husband let you.
Your wife dresses classy.
She does. Yeah, she doesn't dress like Chelsea Handler.
She doesn't dress in a way that would attract the wrong kind of attention. So for somebody to side eye your old lady,
yeah,
nah, that's not cool.
But I say that because
it's an example.
What we're talking about, and specifically, I bring up Japan because that was like the big cultural, like coming together with like America, which
that sounds fun.
Dude, I want to visit Japan really bad. I kind of want a honeymoon there. Cody,
leave the wife there. You and I can go.
You want to go to Japan with me?
Japan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Eli, Cody, and I believe Brandon and a couple other people. Eli's been pushing it. I've brought it up a couple of times, but we've talked about buying a house in Japan, not because we're like uber wealthy, because let me tell you what, those plane tickets cost a chunk of change when you're flying from New York.
Yeah, but if you could pick a place to be, like, why would you go anywhere else everybody else is going? Go do something different.
Well, the Japanese culture obviously is different than American culture, and one of the ways it's very different is that if somebody like leaves a house or they die in their house, it's like bad juju. They're like, no, that's somebody else's memories. Like, you need to get rid of those. Those are ghosts. Those are things. We see a home where we're like, pass it on to our children. You know, this is income potentially. This is wealth growing.
Yes, sure. Japan
is not that way. It is like, okay, that house is lived in, destroy it now. Don't live in there. Bad spirits. And so you can get beautiful homes. Like I would say you can get like a $600,000 home that you might compare to in the United States. And in Japan, that $600,000 home is for like $200,000, maybe even less, because they don't value property the way that we do.
I like that.
There could also be like a thing, like one I know it's cultural. Two, there could also be like some sort of like economic, political, or not political, but governmental kind of thing where they're like, hey, there's also benefits to, or bad things to like keeping the house or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the property isn't actually yours. It's owned by the Japanese
I was
emperor.
looking at moving to Italy just for a hot minute.
60% in taxes they pay there.
Oh, I didn't know that, but you can get a whole house, like a villa, for $40,000. You got to promise to live there and fix it up.
Got to promise to live there and fix it up because they're having
population issues.
Yeah. So
because nobody wants to bang after all that pasta. Full bellies, I'm happy. I'm just not going to.
Yeah, you just want some. You just want some head.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of information.
As long as it's not pasta your bedtime.
Nah, pasta my bedtime. Yeah, but sideways. But yeah, living in another country, expanding our where we live. Like literally, I thought to myself, I could take a year leave of absence from work. Not going to change anything. My girls are homeschooled, so we do a lot of that at home. There's a lot of requirements you could just mail in. Yeah. And I'll be honest, man, looking at the dumbing down of society, I kind of brought that up with AI. Whatever I do at home is probably better than what a computer can teach my kid at this point, right?
Oh, even then you can have the computer teach your kid.
On the things, right?
Hey, Chat GPT. Yeah. Hey, I love Grok from Twitter, Elon's AI. What is a good syllabus for a 6-year-old?
I'm glad you brought that up.
And you could just have AI be like, here's a syllabus of the things that you should be taught compared to New York State Regents standards.
So, well, first of all, New York State Regents is no longer required. We're taking that out. That's gone. New York State Regents is gone.
Okay.
Now there's an AI app for teachers.
Hold on. Explain. For the people who don't know, New York State has got a very good education system for the public schools out of the United States on paper. But I will say, like in general, because there's a lot of New York State students that go to other well-off colleges.
Except I feel like we've gone down the Common Core plan, and the kids are not as intelligent.
I'll say up until like 5 years ago,
Okay.
5-10 years ago.
5-10 years ago, New York State has a fantastic education program, welcomed in every state.
And when you and I went through, there was a thing called Regents.
Yes.
And there was a normal Regents diploma, which was the minimum you had to get.
High school diploma. And then,
your high school diploma.
Yep.
And there was Advanced Regents, which I thought meant something. It don't mean shit.
You take some college courses, you get extra credit.
You take
the harder courses.
Yeah.
So that when you go to interview at a college, like I took the Regents exam.
And then
I passed.
And I said,
in
I
all the
took
subjects.
Advanced Regents.
Yeah.
I graduated with an Advanced Regents diploma. So they're like, oh, very studious.
And it used to be a requirement. It is no longer a requirement. They're not going to have that. What's interesting is I have a friend that works in education, has for a very long time. Very diligent man. I don't have a name for him.
I know
You
who you're
know
talking
who it
about.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben Dover.
Yeah.
Ben Dover.
Ben Dover.
His name is Ben Dover.
Yeah. All right, cool. So Ben Dover, who has served in just pretty much every position you can think of except for superintendent of large areas, was explaining to me they use an AI program now. So back in the day as a teacher, you'd have to develop a lesson plan based on all your education and what group of kids you're teaching.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a lesson plan.
I was on that side. I was going to be an English education teacher for high school. I know about lesson plans. Yeah.
Yeah. So you develop a lesson plan, but you could hold that lesson plan for like 5 to 10 years. You'd only have to like touch it, brush it up a little here and there based on some slight changes. Mm-hmm. Well, now teachers have to do this, but they want to incorporate it into AI. So there's a program, I don't know if it's not Notebook, it's like Letter something, but everybody uses it. So now the teacher doesn't even really have to do anything. The core curriculum that comes down from the state gets entered into this AI system. And the teacher says, okay, I need a course syllabus for 35 students, grade 5 through 6 for biology. The whole thing is there. And if I don't like what I'm teaching, I can press a button and a virtual teacher pops up. It's a little cartoonish, I heard, not perfected, but it could teach that lesson that day. So if you're having a hangover day and went to your buddy's wedding, you show up on a Monday, boop, AI teacher shows up.
So AI is the wheel-in television?
Yeah.
For when you're too drunk?
Yeah.
From the nights prior and it's Friday and you're just
you don't even have to come up with your lesson plan. So whatever you learned in college and spent all that money on, AI already has it because it was uploaded by somebody else above you.
Yeah.
So you just select course studies, whatever, it pops up, and then you can just issue the lessons. If you don't want to do it, AI will do it for you. Now, here's the fun part. Teachers used to get evaluated. You sit there and like, oh, teacher so-and-so's got X amount of passing rate, and we got to work on this. Principal sits in the back of the room, writes an evaluation.
Yep.
Not anymore, dude.
Why?
AI. Hey, AI, you read all my emails. AI goes through all your emails, understands what your tone of voice is, your speech patterns and things like that, and how you look at things. AI, can you look at Mr. Richard, teacher biology guy? Can you write, can you assess his lesson plans? Sure.
The lesson plans made by AI?
Being assessed by AI. Where's the human in that? Now check this out.
Was this an episode of Black Mirror?
So as a senior or anybody in that school, I don't want to name positions, but so I ask AI to assess your lesson plan. AI assesses the lesson plan. I send it off to you for your critique and be like, hey, this is what I thought of your lesson plan. In my own words though, right? But AI put my own words in that. And then you know what you do? Hey, AI, can you read this assessment from my whoever up top? And then can you send them back a reply? So you're telling me AI is assessing AI lesson plans that were assessed are being critiqued and sent back to the administrator, and then AI can teach my kid? Are we deleting jobs? Where are the teacher unions and all this? Why do they accept this? Because on paper.
Because it's easy. You know why? Because all they have to do is sit in the class and babysit. Listen, I was going to be a teacher. I like teaching. I still do it as a drill sergeant in a very different way, a hands-on way, where I can call a dummy a and smoke the shit out of him in the fucking wood line or right there on the concrete, which is what needs to happen with some of these kids that are lazy and dumb.
Crossing lines and boundaries.
Oh, no. And I struggle with teachers' unions. I struggle also with the pushback against teachers' unions.
Well, you mentioned Buffalo. Is this coming in here?
Yeah. So just from my personal experience, this is just my outlook on the world, right? Having almost been a teacher, studied to be one, and also having worked with unions.
Yeah.
I understand having a union as a police officer, right? There are millions of people literally in the United States that hate us, that think that we're bad, that are looking for opportunities to sue us, dox us, ruin our lives, all because we chose a profession where we were like, I would like to put the child abuser in jail.
Well, we're put into abrasive, controversial situations daily.
And people can't understand that.
They don't want to understand.
There are dumb cops that make bad decisions. I'll say Derek Chauvin, he didn't kill that guy. He died because he freaked out, and they went, what's his face?
George Floyd?
Yeah, George Floyd, but like, what coroner? They went coroner shopping. That's what the city, I think it was Chicago,
but they actually
right?
didn't. They actually hid the reports. Well, no, so they did do coroner shopping, but
they did coroner shopping.
They had 2 reports, though.
They had 3 different coroners review George Floyd. The first 2 said, yeah, he died not because he got asphyxiated from the knee, but he died because of the drug overdose and excited delirium. And then the third one was like, all right, yeah, I think he a portion of it was because of and they went with that, which is insane. Either way, where was my train of thought going to go with that?
Derek Chauvin real quick.
Oh,
go ahead.
Anyway, so
he's not smart.
No, Derek Chauvin is a smart guy.
No, because I'll be honest. In that situation, I've seen you in situations like that.
Yeah.
You would have been like, all right, unhandcuff this dude. He's no longer fighting me actively. He's going through a medical condition. Get me EMS. Let's start something here and now. Because you're emotionally under control, you wouldn't have been stressed out by the crowd.
Well, I wasn't stressed out I wouldn't have been stressed out by the crowd.
No, you would not have been.
I wouldn't unhandcuffed him either. Derek Chauvin wasn't stressed out by the crowd either.
He would have done medical.
But what he did is the biggest mistake ever. You let him out of the car. I'm having an emergency. I can't breathe. Sir, you're sitting in the back of a police car with nobody on your chest, with your hands cuffed behind your back. You're going to stay there because that I control all the stimulus in this moment.
Yeah.
There is nobody touching you or affecting you except for yourself.
Why is he still okay? If we're going to bring
I'm not even going to take him out of the car until EMS gets there. He takes him out of the car, puts him on the ground, knees on his neck.
Show for everybody.
For everybody. Everybody sees it.
I never really thought about that. Keep him in the car. But here's the next question: if we're keeping him in the car and not doing the show thing, why didn't we just drive him to the hospital, get him out of there? Why are we standing there? Why are we still there on scene?
So, that's a good question, too. It's Minneapolis. It wasn't Chicago, right? So I would say different departments have different, MOPs. And I bet you one of them is like, you can't use the car as an ambulance unless you're in like some sort of exigent circumstance where somebody's bleeding out.
A crowd building, everybody getting mad. I might have a medical thing. Let's move to a different area to get medical where it might be safer.
What's a part of that, Joe? Not letting him out of the car so then you can put him on the ground.
I never thought about that.
It all starts with you keep him in the car.
Let's go with we can't keep him in the car because he didn't keep him in the car. What I'm saying is optic-wise, emotional, like, you know what that looks like. It looks terrible. If you're going to bring him out of the car, then you're doing the show. We're doing the CPR. We're doing the medical thing. Hey, back up. We're trying to save a life here.
Yeah.
Why are you standing there like cocky dude with your knee on the back? Not on his neck. But at all. Do you remember your skateboard incident guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a picture of that, and you can see the gap between your ass and his chest. You were not sitting on his chest.
Yeah, I know.
And you had with a small bat in a scooter threatening you. Other people would have folded.
Yeah, I really wanted that dwarfed man with the aluminum baseball bat to swing at me because I wanted to palm it.
Kevin Hart wouldn't have hit you, okay? Kevin Hart was not a harmful man. He's a nice gentleman.
Handicap Hart?
Handicap Hart. H squared. H to the second power.
Dude, for that incident, which was on the news, of course it was, where that guy tried to hit me with a skateboard and struck my brand new truck, with his skateboard after swinging into people and having
multiple calls on him.
Yeah, well, and the police showed up with a behavioral health specialist, and they were like, there's nobody that stuck around to be the complainant, so all we have is a description of this guy doing. We don't have anybody saying, yeah, that's him, get him out of here, right? Everybody called 911 and walked away, which people don't know. Like, if you just call 911 and walk away, it limits our response.
Absolutely.
It limits what we can do because now there's nobody for us to talk to confirm anything.
Dude, people just call to complain. There's a guy doing a thing. Bye, going to work. Okay, cool.
Yeah, anonymous
complaints.
complaints.
So you dial 911. It's such an emergency, but you're not going to stick around?
Dude, you can't do anything with anonymous complaints. People don't know this. You can call 911 on somebody. I can go up and I can talk to you. Hey, there's a call about you. But I can't I can't really detain you.
There's DeBoer, which is the amount of civil rights I can violate based on the information that I have.
Yeah.
If you look,
hold on there. Let's not use the V word here. Civil rights that you can violate. No, there are avenues that you can approach while utilizing the law and not violating the Constitution.
Real quick, everybody, if we can say what Rich just did. What did you do, Rich?
I saved you. I see why
you articulate.
I did. Yeah. There's so many things we could do. So while we violate your there's a clip for all of Antifa.
Yeah, they were hot for our fire truck for a second there.
Oh, yeah, the crack house got doxxed by some.
But anyways, back to what I was saying is like you were able to stay in control, aware of the optics, and not overreact. In certain situations, yeah, we can play armchair quarterback, but unless you have the experience, you really don't know what can be done. That dude was outside the car with a knee on his back. Looks terrible. I'll be honest, man.
I'll be honest. I saw it. And I was like, he's pinning him down because he's unruly.
But
okay.
In that environment, though, after having the Michael Brown stuff, you know your operational environment, and I would think that
which is why keep him in the car.
I know we can't go back and put him in the car.
Yeah.
I just want to go to the part where he's kneeling on his back, and he could have thought something different, but maybe he was caught up.
Well, when you get crowd screaming at you, like you gotta make sure that this guy below you is like not going anywhere, and two, you have to keep your eyes on the crowd.
Doesn't sound like he went anywhere.
It's a heinous environment. True. Also, like I've been taught knee on the neck, and by the way, I've had a 400-pound man in my academy yoked. Dude, like would pick up women and be like, you need to stop fighting him, and then set them down on top of cop cars, right? I had him because people didn't want to train with him because he's a big guy, and just him being slow and methodical is still 400 pounds on you. And I would tussle with him, and he would get me in handcuffs, and he would have to put his knee on the back of my neck.
Is that a humble brag because you have a neck? Are you?
Yeah, you would be fine. You would just be. You would have.
Dude, it's a natural genetic self-defense.
Yeah, you couldn't Floyd out. You would be.
You couldn't Floyd out.
You couldn't Floyd out. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I've had a 400-pound guy's or 350+ pound guy's knee on my neck, shin on my neck, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And I can breathe, and I'm okay. It's painful. It is not comfortable. But that's also the point of like, I've put myself.
Well, let's state the obvious. If you can talk, you can breathe.
You can breathe.
Air has to pass the vocal cords. We haven't cut anything off yet.
Yeah.
Your brain might be shut off because you're not thinking, because you're emotional, and it's scary.
You're uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
You're probably doing shallow breaths because you're like, oh, God, that hurts. This is uncomfortable. Yeah.
Emotional regulate, dude. You're physically fine. We're going to get through this. Yeah.
Yeah, what a gambit we ran. Where did we started somewhere, and then we ended up here. We talked
a little bit about fraud. Made a joke about the Leering Center again. I still enjoy that. I'm not gonna lie, man. The amount of fraud that's out there. There's people getting arrested. Did you see that California mayor? There was a mayor in California. I think her last name is Wang. She's Chinese. She is indicted and or pleaded guilty to like being a foreign agent. You know the FARA Act?
I saw this, but I don't know much about it.
Well, let's go with Eric Swalwell.
Eric Swalwell is a moron.
Yep, but he banged Fing Fang or whatever, Fang Fang.
Fang Fang, and they had a relationship for like 4 years, and she was a Chinese agent. Now, here's the deal, right? If you're getting honeypotted, the point is that you don't know that, the hot Asian girl stroking your wang, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Wang's touching your wang.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Is a spy, right? So I can't fault the dude for falling for it. You know what I mean? The point is that you're the target, you're being taken advantage of, right? But Eric Swalwell also was an idiot that said a lot of dumb shit over and over again. On video. Well, I don't want to say on the stand, but like when he was a representative.
No,
and then he got voted out.
He just had that last little bit of internet come out where he was on a bed with a girl talking dirty.
Oh,
and the Dems finally were like, okay, that's enough.
Here's the other thing, too, right? Like, there's real predators out there and stuff like that. If you're, like, drunk hitting on your, like, girlfriend or, like, a girl that's, like, sitting on a bed with you in a hotel room.
Different.
Like, what are we upset with here?
That's just politics playing out, right? Like, they were ready. They wanted him gone then. Not back then, but now, so... Now all of a sudden the information's bad.
Well, and that was like I feel like for everything that a Republican does, there's a Democratic equivalent, right?
There always is.
And so Tony Gonzalez got caught with the affair that we and the guys have known about for forever, that we didn't air out, that we let the news cycle kind of do its thing. And I've been very aware of Tony Gonzalez's actions for well before the first election that unfortunately that Brandon lost. And now that he stepped down and he's like in disgrace because he's a dumb hound, now there's the Democratic version of it, which is Swalwell, which I think that based on some of the video, and I don't have all the information on the stories, really didn't seem that bad, but he's already a walking idiot. So I felt like they were like, all right, we got to sacrifice this one up to bail.
I'm going to have to say that the older group of politicians are a bunch of mediocre, kind of puppet type humans. Very manipulated, very manipulative. You can do the honeypot, and they're like, yep, you got me. If you look at a guy like Brandon, he's been on YouTube for how long?
Well, probably as long as I have, 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years or so. So there's really not much out there that people can find that you did wrong. But you can probably look at what he said, how he talked, how he carried himself, going, oh, I feel like I know that guy. He's intelligent.
Did you see the woman that's running against him?
No.
She's a hippo.
Oh, the fat one. Yeah, with the diabetes stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the diabetes awards?
Diabetes. Yeah, the awards that I might have.
The Brimley 2026 awards that you might have created.
I'm a Democratic nominee for Texas running against Brandon Herrera, and I have diabetes.
And I support this diabetes.
She had a quote-unquote medical emergency where she had, because she's 400 pounds.
She's filled with gravy.
Her veins are literally fudge.
I've seen this.
If you cracked her open, she would split like a Cadbury egg and just have delicious custard flow out.
And I'll be honest with you, I would only say that to a heavyset person that's mean on the inside.
Listen, I'm sure it's a possibility that woman is overweight and she's a very kind person. There's also a level of responsibility that you need to have where I look at you when you're that big and I go, you have no self-respect, you have no self-control, and you're now running for a political position as a bleeding heart. No.
They're not going to pick the smartest and the brightest. This is funny.
Yeah.
Because the more that you can handle yourself, the more that you know yourself, the more that you can self-assess and be self-aware, you're a fucking problem because I can't control you. If you have money, time, and power, I can't control you. Well, but if you're like mediocre, I can probably make you do whatever the fuck I want because you need more from me.
That's why I like politicians. Like there's this one guy from South Carolina. I forget his name. He's hysterical. He's got a southern drawl. You got Massey.
Yeah.
And I feel like Brandon's going to be on the same thing. He's not bought by anybody. All of his donors are small stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's got a large social media presence, he was able to fundraise fairly well. Like, that's the politician I want. Whether or not you agree with his Republican values or Peterson's, the guy from Pennsylvania.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I like him. He's a Democrat. I like him. Middle of the road, moderate
you're talking
guy.
About the big guy with the sweatshirts?
Yeah.
It's not Peterson.
Nate, I think it's Peterman. No, Nate Peterman's the horrible football player. Fetterman.
See, word association. We got there.
Fetterman
was a clunky Frankenstein-looking dude, right?
I thought that he was going to be some big dumb oaf. I bit into the right-wing propaganda.
Well, did you see that? Like, he's daddy's kid. Daddy got him this position. He did this. He filled that. Nothing.
He had a stroke or something. How is he going to think?
He became smart. He got special powers.
And here's the thing. He was running against Dr. Oz. What a plant he was. Yeah. And I'm like looking at it. As a New Yorker, Pennsylvania's the southern border.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, I get ammunition from there because New York State is so great. If there's a Democratic senator there, then that could limit the Second Amendment rights that go on.
Look what they did in Virginia. She ran as
Well, we'll get there. But so I'm worried about Fetterman ruining the Second Amendment in Pennsylvania, which is like, because I have a limited Second Amendment in New York State, I have to go across state lines to practice my constitutional rights or assist mine in New York. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Do I want to go at Dr. Oz? And the entire time I'm looking at Dr. Oz like a fucking plant because I think he was.
Absolutely.
And then Fetterman gets in and you're just like, what an honest, straightforward, left-leaning, but moderate guy.
When given the opportunity, he appears that way, right?
Yeah.
And so far, so good.
I mean, for the way that he votes, he voted to stop the government shutdown. He's like, these are people working stuff with their lives.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this guy.
I do.
But yeah, Virginia's weird now.
But that's
like their governor is like got rid of their Second Amendment.
Virginia,
right?
Oh my God! And they tried to do the whole gerrymandering thing. We talked about that. They wanted to redistrict borders and give the Dems more spots in Congress.
Yeah.
Their state Supreme Court shot it down. Now they're fighting to go to Supreme Court with Justice Alito and Roberts. And
I don't know how you can do that when your state Supreme Court shuts it down. Like, that's the whole point of separation of states from federal government, is that the states do their own thing, and that the federal government says, hey, you can do your own thing as long as it
ever.
doesn't mess with the actual Constitution.
Well, the state level said that it did mess with the Constitution, overturned the decision to let that go through, and everyone's like, well, they're taking away the votes from the people. The people didn't vote for that. That was done on a state level before with nobody involved.
The other thing, too, was I think the governor put forward something that was like the presidential votes, or well, it was some sort of like...
they wanted to go to the Electoral College.
They wanted to get rid of the Electoral College. They wanted to be just...
Make it the popular vote.
Popular
was going
vote.
to take the votes for the state, which still is not a thing.
Like, how do you can't do that because the federal government is based on the Electoral College.
They're just trying to rig. They're worried about the midterms.
I saw one of the districts in Virginia, and it was insane. The way that it was like squiggled up, it looked like a crab claw.
Ooh,
and you're like, oh, this is a real district. You're like,
that's not a real.
Can we just go with squares? Can we go with squares and stop
Keep it primary
gerrymandering?
Shapes, yeah.
This is for both sides.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. I obviously am like moderate right. In fact, if anything, I'm not a libertarian, but I think more government is bad in like every sense of the word. All it does is up and have people
too many chefs in the kitchen.
Find rules to like bend to get around stuff, and then normal people can't have the same rights as people that can hire an attorney to get around tax law or whatever. And then they create more rules to make it even more hard for the normal guy that can't afford a lawyer, while the guy that's got a lawyer is like, oh, it's second level lawyering now.
Well, you heard AOC, right? She's like, the Republicans are trying to rig the election by having only American citizens vote.
Yeah, did she say that? Like verbatim, or was that AI?
No, I'm pretty sure that was real.
Yeah.
It was an interview on like the side of the street. It seemed very real. It was carried by a bunch of news stations. If it's AI slop, I fell for it. And shame on AOC for being that dumb that seems reasonable for me to consume.
Right.
But on the same point, you were saying like, Republicans and Dems, and it doesn't matter. Both sides are trying to fight for every square inch in Congress and the House right now. But when I want to get back to immigration and we're deporting all these people, Tom Homan recently said that you're going to see more ICE officers than you've ever seen. We're going to deport everybody. And we go back to the distribution centers that they built, the dislocated civilian camps, ultimately to make it easier to deport people.
The ones that like they took photos of and said, look at what Trump's doing. And like that was from the Obama administration.
Yeah, stuff like that. But now Trump literally has got Homeland Security buying up distribution centers to house people. So they're getting ready to push for a large deportation.
Well,
and Tom Homan said it's happening.
He's already had he's been able to, I don't want to say force, but have people self-deport to be like, hey, you want to deal with this? Like, you're easy to find. If you're easy to find, you might as well just like go home now. And they paid him. He paid him too.
Do you know why they're easy to find?
Why's that?
Because they gave him iPhone like 13s and 14s, and they're all located. And if you wanted your benefits, you had to go check in on your phone. Mm-hmm. Every phone's got like 17 GPSs. You want to download Farmville? Yeah, it's another GPS. We know where you're at, okay?
Oh, my God. The cost of Farmville. People don't even understand the rights that they're giving away when they download shit.
I accept all terms. I think South Park did an episode about accepting terms.
Yeah. They become the human centipede.
So about the immigration, I think things are about to get real hot here. Everybody's concerned that, putting ICE agents at voting centers is not allowing other people to vote. But if you're a citizen of the United States and have a say in who gets to be in what position, why should somebody who's not a citizen or earn that position have the right to vote in our election?
So I don't like law enforcement at all.
Rich, hi. Close friends with Mexican white supremacist Brandon Herrera. Is this who you want representing you in Texas District 23? Paid for by the To Be Real Political Committee, slightly to the right of the Democrats.
Around voting centers, because just because I don't like the implications of somebody of like that authority figure around.
Do you feel it's intimidating?
I think that any form of like
coercion, voting, what?
Yeah, if I like my fear, right, and it can be irrational, right, is like it amping up to like a Gestapo where you've got armed police officers standing in front of every election site to be like, you gonna vote? Where's your ID? I don't want that, right? The less of a visual hustle or hassle, we get it, right? Civil affairs, psychological operations. There are ways that people will feel if you put people of authority in different uniforms in different places. If it's a dude with a suit with an earpiece, undercover guys,
a little more discreet, right?
A little more discreet.
Armed, vested up.
Yeah, SWAT dudes in front of each voting station is not really something that I want.
So to avoid all that, we just deport everybody that shouldn't be here before that.
Yeah, I'm okay with people being outside of it. I'm okay with voter ID. You can drive a car, but you can't. I never understand that.
I don't get it
talking
either.
point. I'm literally swaying an election for the leader of the free,
Most powerful country in the world.
most powerful country in the world, and you can't verify that I'm
Me.
who I am. You got to verify who I am in New York State if I got to buy a box of ammunition or a bottle of Jose Cuervo.
Yeah.
But in order to choose who's going to lead this nation, the leader of the free world, it's just like, well, honor system, dumbest
It's
thing
the
ever.
most ambiguous that I've ever seen.
And it's obviously
mail-in ballots,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
We got all these rules. So they've already arrested people on mail-in ballots. Trust me.
Well, do you remember when like the Somalis there even before the Somali shenanigans with the Leering Center in Minnesota, there were Somalis that were on video. The one guy was like caught recorded. It was like a thing by OMG. He used to be Veritas. I forget his name. The guy used to run Veritas, Project Veritas. It's called OMG now.
Jack O'Keefe or something like that?
O'Keefe, yes, O'Keefe Media Group now. But
Was it Jack, though? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
it's James O'Keefe.
James.
So he was walking around, and he had got video of this Somali guy who was an American citizen, his Snapchat or Instagram, I forget what it was, some sort of social media profile, where he's recording himself with mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I got these ballots, $50 to each person that gives me one, $100 each person gives me one. And he fills them out and then mails them. And you're like,
Bro.
that's the most obscene thing I've ever seen when it comes to actual voter fraud.
It's
like, what are we? And you're saying there's no problem? Like,
Well,
we need IDs?
There
It
is a
should all
problem,
be
and there are
mail-in?
laws against that, but we've never prosecuted, which is funny because now we're holding people accountable. They're like, you can't arrest me for that. It's the same problem we have on the side of the road. That's a law, but I've never been arrested for it. Well, today you are. But now I have to deal with 8 to 13 years of bail reform where I used to get away with everything and I get out of jail quick, but now we're snatching people up and holding them.
Yeah.
Now we're arresting you and holding you accountable. Well, it was only a larceny. Yeah, well, you know
It
what?
was only. Oh,
Only.
okay. If they were only a victim of you stealing all that
Correct.
from them.
So now protecting your property has become a liability. So officer-induced jeopardy turns into owner-induced jeopardy of a store because I don't want everybody to steal all my shit.
And you know, a great example of that is Rite Aid.
Yeah.
Rite Aid's gone.
We closed, 2 or 3 of them in West Seneca?
There's 2 I know of that are on Union Road that
Yeah.
closed. And they're
gone.
all the ones in the city of Buffalo are gone.
Yep.
Every
So-
single one of them's gone.
So we allow crime, then we lose business, so we lose jobs, right? We lose availability, like convenience to go to these stores. And
Which
get these
creates
things.
poverty.
Which creates poverty and exacerbates the problem.
Yep.
It's interesting now, though, that people are now going to be held accountable on the rules, the letter of the law. The rule of law is coming back in a really neat way, and people are not going to be used to it. Where it used to be, oh, this is illegal. All right, here's a warning. It's not going to be that way anymore. You committed the crime. That's why the SPLC is where it's at. They have hard fact evidence written down, documented that they were giving money and laundering money and doing bank fraud.
Yeah.
They're going to jail. People are like, well, but they didn't really it was just a slight accident. Dude, now
For empathy.
you're doing Fed time.
Yeah.
We're doing 80% of your sentence, right? So this accountability train is coming. And when Tom Homan says, you're going to see immigration, and people that assist in interfering with immigration, you're going to jail too. So the F around find out time is around the corner.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to have any more people getting shot in the face. I think it's going to stop before that. We're not going to allow you to harass, annoy, alarm, interdict any kind of actions that ICE is taking. I think they're just going to go, yep, you're going to jail now. You do Fed time.
Yeah.
Get a lawyer for $10,000 now. I hope you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Stay home. Be safe. Let us get rid of the problem. And the problem could be criminal illegal immigrants. There's been a couple on the news that I've seen where like a 70-year-old dude was pushed down the stairs or something.
Oh, that wasn't by an immigrant,
That
though.
wasn't?
That was a dancer. No, there was a fucking Broadway dancer.
Are you sure?
Like, it's in like a, yeah, I read the article. It was,
Then
I
which
don't know
one
if he was an
am I
illegal
confusing
immigrant
it
or
with?
not, but
Yeah.
or immigrant period, but I'm pretty sure he was an American citizen. But yeah, it was a Broadway dancer who pushed a 77-year-old guy down the stairs. The guy ended up dying.
Then what's the controversy?
And then an hour or two later got arrested for an assault separate from that. And then they were like, while they were trying to figure out who this guy was, they were like, oh, it's the dude from the assault that happened an hour after down the street. Then they picked him up and locked him up. And in court, he was like smiling, not giving a shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
thought that was an illegal immigrant that did that one. They're all blending together, I'll be honest with you.
yeah, I know, right? Because
There's just so much Yeah.
There's so much preventable crime. Well, and one of the big things that you and I deal with when it comes to preventable crime is bad judges and the bail reform that we had in New York State. And also,
Horrendous.
people don't know about this, raise the age.
That was terrible.
It is terrible. It's still going on. It's not gone, isn't
Well,
it?
you told me 19.
It's 19.
I deal with...
So you could be a juvenile and get youthful offender status through 19 years of age.
Yeah.
Bro.
I see people on a daily basis, and I see their advocate or their parent, and I see a grown man in front of me. I'm like, how old are you? 18. Why is your mom here? Why is your mom here talking for you?
Yeah.
Why is your mom fighting this? Why is your mom asking you about why you got pulled over? Didn't you get pulled over? I had a kid the other day, came in, he bought a motorcycle that he shouldn't have bought. Made some side deal with some shady dude.
Uh-oh.
He's out $4,000. Dad's like, well, it's fraud because of this, that, and the other. I go, did you ask your son the whole story? Well, why should I ask him that? I'm like, I don't know. Are you his attorney? Like, what's going on? Your dad, you're here representing him? I go, why don't you let the kid figure out what his life lesson is here for $4,000? Well, we got to wait to get that money back. From who? Your son entered into it's not a police thing. It's a civil matter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
what
like,
happened? What's the story with that?
So the kid wasn't allowed to buy a motorcycle. He went behind his dad's back and bought it. Even at the age of 18, dad's like, you can't have a bike, which it's fine. If you're living under my house, my rules, I don't want you to have a bike. They're dangerous.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you're 18 years old. You're dumb.
Sure,
I don't need you
buy
to go to 120 miles an hour on the highway
Right?
and you getting wrapped around.
Watch a TikTok video of somebody doing 160 while flipping off the cops because they think it's cool. You just end up in a body bag.
Yeah.
People that don't get to live forever. That's one of them. So the dude buys a bike from another guy, and the other guy is less than stand-up. The guy takes the kid's $4,000 and never pays off the lien on the bike. He got a loan, went to a dealership, bought the bike, then sold the bike and kept the money. He didn't pay for the bike. The guy that had the loan never paid for the bike, never paid off the lien. So the kid goes to register the bike, and the lien's still on the bike. You know what I'm saying?
How much of the lien is still on the bike?
I don't know. Never found out. It's not a criminal thing.
Well, that's still two people that are screwed because that dude still owes the money to the.
Do you think he cares? He's not
No.
that type of guy.
He's not
He's
that type
not
of guy.
that type of guy. So new scam out here. I asked the kid, I'm like, hey, when you went to go check the bike, did you get a title? No, he told me he lost it. I would just have to get a new one. I'm like, so you didn't ask dude to get you a new title? So common sense is left of room at this point because nobody thinks of anything because he couldn't go to his dad, but now his dad's fighting for his kid. And I'm like, dude, have you been helicopter parent, lawnmower parent the whole time, run over all the problems, watched everything, never let this kid learn a lesson?
Right.
It's only $4,000. You're lucky that's all it is. Because with this type of decision-making, buying stuff without verifying, checking, or
What the
using
fuck
common
is
sense.
$4,000 at 18 years old?
This kid.
Good for him. I mean, he's already seems like he's got a good job. He just got screwed over majorly.
He did, but it's like when I was 18, I wasn't getting screwed over like that.
I would do everything that I could to find that guy and beat the shit out of him.
I would have
That was
asked
that
for the
kid.
title. I would have been like, you got a loan on the bike? Let me see the title. I'm not
This is
buying
why
this
I'm
shit.
okay with murder. If I was that 18-year-old, I'd be like, I'm going to show up to that dude's house with a hammer.
So, good statement. I understand murder, but I don't condone it, right? Like, there's always a way out. If it's only $4,000 and we can fight about it, that's fine. Beating him up with a hammer might get you in trouble, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. He doesn't walk well for the rest of his life because his kneecap
There's
is
always
broken.
a way to get something, right?
Yeah.
But if this kid can barely think to ask for a title.
Like, you ever choke a man so that he
vehicle.
himself? I mean, I haven't yet, but I imagine eventually somebody's going to do
Anything is
something
possible.
stupid, and I'm going to
Yeah.
be like, this is my moment.
Yeah.
This is my moment. You're going to poop yourself.
I'm going to squeeze you like a toothpaste.
Rah!
Yeah. That's a good one, man. But yeah, common sense is left of room. And raising the age is not helping any. Letting kids not make decisions. Oh, can I do the daughter story? Can I tell you a daughter story real quick?
What's the daughter story with regarding who?
So my kid was in school, and there's this other kid bothering her.
Pause. That is a great story that we're going to save for the after show. That's right. You can join us at the Overserved after show only on Pepperbox. It's a Pepperbox exclusive. Go ahead and join the link below. It's only $8 a month, $7.99, and you get the first 2 weeks free by clicking the link below. So, we'll see you over at the Overserved after show. Thank you for stopping by and seeing us today on this fantastic episode of the Overserved podcast. I'm AC Rich, Angry Cops, one of your hosts, and this is Joe. Say goodbye, Joe.
Bye, Joe.